Hello everyone, how's it going? This is Alpha Core HD Gaming and here we are in Abu Dhabi for race number 19. It's the finale of the season, double points are on offer and we're 13 points behind in the Constructors Championship. So we've got an outside chance of taking that from Mercedes, but it's going to rely on Felipe having a good race and the Mercedes being off the pace a little bit and having a little bit of a mare. So we'll see how that goes. It's a very, very outside chance. I don't think we're going to really do it because I think Felipe is probably going to be around the middle of the pack again, so he's about 6 or 7 or something. So I don't really see us having a good challenge at that Constructors Championship, unless of course Mercedes have an absolute nightmare of a race and we pick up 25 points and they pick up no points, which would then hand the championship to us. So we're in practice here and we're just pretty much trying to find the limit of the car and see kind of what we can do in terms of lap time and see how low we can get that time to go now. And it's not one of my favourite tracks. I really just don't like this track. I mean, the first sector is really nice. It's quite a good first sector, and then the first back straight's okay, and then you start coming to these parts of the track with the curbs that seem to spin you out quite a lot. There's already a low traction zone in that section, and if you clip any of these curbs in this section, it kind of just spins you out. It starts to make your life really difficult. And which means you can't really get a rhythm going. So coming into this sector, you go right and then left. You can see if you touch the curbs too much, you've got to be correcting the steering wheel, and it's really hard to find a balance for the car around this track because of that. And it's you need a car that's got a good turning, but also good traction, and then good in high speed stuff. And yeah, it's got to have a good quick change of direction as well. So it's really quite a difficult track to find a balance on. And I actually quite enjoy the last few corners, like this one and the next one. I quite like these ones, but it's just that little bit back there, that twisty bit, which I just don't like very much. That being said, we've still done a decent lap time. It looks like a 1 minute 44.2, so it's a 1 minute 44.266, so second quicker than our previous lap time, and that's a second 1.187 quicker than Rosberg at the moment. But of course, this is only practice, and we're just trying to find kind of see how fast we can go on. Oh, that was qualifying 1, was it? Okay, qualifying 1 then. 144.267. We gone through qualifying 1, and we went straight on the option tyres there, and everybody else went on the primes. The reason I did that is because I was not confident on the primes at all, and I just felt that we had to get on the options early on and just see how they were. Because if we go into qualifying 2, then in qualifying 2 we're gonna know what they're like already because of qualifying 1. So a 144.2 in qualifying 1, which is a second clear, and we're just looking who's been knocked out. Maldonado, Gutierrez, Kobayashi, Chilton, Bianchi and Ericsson, I think that was. They've all gone, and it's qualifying 2 now, and they say, well, bang on a set of option tyres again, and these option tyres are going to be the ones we start the race on. There's a Brazilian flag in the background, so hopefully Felipe can get some sort of motivation to do better in this race. So he didn't do very well in Brazil either, so we need him to do very well here if we've got any chance. And so here we are, we're coming around this lap. We're only going to do 1 lap because these are obviously the tyres we start the race on, and I think tyre wear around here is very high as well. So not only is it hard to find a balance, it's also one of these tracks where the tyre wear is just horrendous. And obviously the AI don't get tyre wear the same amount of tyre wear that we do, which makes it kind of, we can be as quick as them in like the middle of the stints, like the start of the stint, the middle of the stint, but as it comes towards the end of the stint, the AI just seem to continually bang in the laps that they would at the start of the stint and just be so consistent, and there's no drop off in their pace. So that's where we struggle, and then once that happens, then we come under pressure from the AI. And yeah, we're not in the best car anyway, we're still in the Williams, so we're moving to Mercedes next season, but this is our last qualifying session in the Williams, and we're hoping to go out on a high this time. So we're looking for I don't know what we're looking for down here. A 1 minute 2, I think it was. 1 minute 2 is a good time. No, 1 minute 3.1. We were nearly into the 1 minute 2s. So we're actually quite nice through there, and a little bit of a correction. Take that in 3rd gear. That's quite nicely done. I mean, we didn't run wide. We're looking to not lock up into this corner because it's very easy to do so. A nice turn in again. Come on, there's only a few more corners to go. So this is only for the top 10. We need to just get into the top 10 now, and these are going to be tyres we want to start the race on. So we don't want to push them too hard. We want them to be quite fresh for the race. So we're being quite easy on them. Second gear, that wasn't easy though. We slid a little bit across the track. At 1 minute 44.5, so 3/10 off our time in Q1, but obviously in Q1 we were pushing a little bit harder because we didn't really care about the tyres in Q1 because it didn't really matter what happened to them. So 144.5, which is 6/10 off Hamilton and 5.5 off Rosberg. Just checking what tyres everyone's on there. 144.05 for Rosberg and 144.127 for Ricciardo. Our teammate is around about 7/10 slower than us, so he's 1.2 seconds back from Hamilton. So again, we can't rely on Felipe this race, and yeah, Lewis Hamilton and Rosberg are already top in qualifying, so you can see those Mercedes are going to be strong. So we're going to have to hope that they have some sort of coming together, reliability issues, a safety car, just anything to stop them from getting in the top few positions. But again, that's still going to be too many points for us to claw back. So yeah, we're just going to have to hope that we do well and the Mercedes have a bad race. So we're in qualifying 3, and I'm not looking forward to this race, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty pessimistic about this one because I just don't like the track, and the balance of the car just didn't feel right, and I think I went the wrong way on setup. So this is qualifying 3, and even if we do stick this car somewhere high at the grid, I just don't think that we're going to have the race pace compared to some of the other guys on the track. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. This is first sector, we're about 2/10 up, and it's all looking okay. I think over 1 lap the car's pretty quick, but it's on these option tyres, these soft tyres, it just doesn't feel right. The car just feels like it feels like I'm driving on ice. That's what it feels like. As you can see, the sunset in the background, nice orange colours, DRS open down the back straight, and we're heading towards this first chicane. It's sort of a hairpin chicane because it kind of goes round to the left quite a lot. You can see it's quite tight. See the wheel spin there as we come off that curb, and again, as we just run over the curb, the car just decides to bottom out and just roll out, and yeah, it's all over the place. So coming down this back straight and into the final sector, this bit's okay. So 3/10 up at the moment. Quite nice over these curves this time. A little bit of an oversteer moment. Down a second gear turn in. Just don't go too wide. Careful on the traction coming down here. Make sure you don't lock up coming to the next one. So coming to this sector now. Down a second gear. Lots of curve on the inside there. Probably too much, which pushes a little bit wide. This is a scruffy final sector so far. We haven't really nailed any of the corners. We were 3/10 up though, so we might still do enough. Took that one okay. Down to second gear, third gear. Final corner, what have we got? 43.764, so we lost 2.5 tenths in the final sector, but it's still good enough for provisional pole. And we didn't go out till the end of the session because it's pretty pointless going out early on because the track does improve, and unless there's a change in weather. We've managed to nick pole position by 1/2 tenth. Our teammate is 1.2 back, so a long way back. And yeah, that's probably where the car really is. But Ricciardo in 3rd place, so he split the Mercedes, so that could be good news for us. Hopefully Rosberg will have a bad start there and get held up a little bit. So it's a pole position again. I think that's probably... Well, how many have we got this season? We get Canada... We didn't get many. I think we got 3 or 4. We haven't got a lot of pole positions. I'll have to check that at the end of the season. But we didn't get too many pole positions this season. But here we are getting to the car, and like I said, we're just starting on these soft tyres, and they just don't feel right. They just feel like they've got no grip. It's like driving on ice, which is strange because these are the option tyres, and they should have more grip than the primes. But it's a little bit like Suzuka sometimes, and that's just absolute domination. Felipe is getting absolutely owned, and that's me testing the brake pedal and the accelerator pedal to make sure they're working. But we're coming to check the setup. 5 and 3 on the wings, and 48.52 high instead of 11.8, 11.384. That's kind of what I settled on, and 94% engine, which is going to help. And we went extreme on the front camber, but not on the rear, and going through it again quickly because I went through that one too quickly that time. So yeah, we can see. Yeah, I was fiddling around a lot with the setup, and I could not find the setup that I liked. It was just I didn't really want to spend too much time on practice as well, trying to find one. So I wanted to get this race done and start next season. So yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time on the setup. But at the same time, I just couldn't find anything setup wise that I liked, and yeah, the car didn't feel particularly good. So it's going to be a right old struggle this race, I reckon. So we're going out to the track, and that's the jackman taking the car off the jacks. We're on pole position, so it's the best place to be. But we're on tyres that I just don't like, and these tyres just don't seem to have any grip at all. So lining up on the grid, there's Hamilton in 2nd place, Felipe, Massa in 7th. We've gone front brakes because I think we went front brakes because the rears were just locking up all the time. So we're off the grid here, and have we made a decent start? Doesn't seem like anyone's gained any ground on us. Not even Hamilton. So no, he was a little bit closer than I thought. But we made a decent start, and Hamilton didn't get a run on the inside of us. So we're away from the grid, and we're in 1st place still. Ricciardo's actually jumped Hamilton, so that's a good situation for us to be in at the moment. Straight away we've gone to lean mix because we're just trying to keep the traction of this car. Again, there's those curves knocking us out of the track. You can see it's just sliding all over the place already. We're not even done like more than 3 or 4 corners, and the car's already starting to slide. Up to rich mix for the straight. Ricciardo is in 2nd place, and that's good news for us because he'll be able to hold Hamilton off a little bit. But I think these Red Bulls are pretty strong around this track. I had absolutely no confidence on the brakes as well. So in terms of the brakes, I was braking very, very early because I didn't want the rears to lock up or the fronts to lock up or just the whole car to just like become unstable. So I was braking very, very early. I say this is going to be a right struggle. So I do apologise now. There's not going to be the best driving. We are going to be fighting the car quite a lot. So we're 2.2 seconds out of Ricciardo at the moment. We're in standard mix, we've gone to rich mix just for this short straight, this like short right-hander. Back to standard, and we should probably go to lean for this final sector, but we might stay in standard just because Ricciardo's within 2 seconds. We don't want to gain on us anymore, really. So there's already a big gap again between 3rd and 4th place. You can see there's our teammates in that kind of pack, and it's looking like a decent opening lap, so it's not being too bad, and we've got another 5 laps on these tyres, so let's see how long they last before they start to really go off. Turn 1, 3rd gear. There's a fairly decent gap between second, 3rd and 4th, so the two guys in 2nd and 3rd and 4th place, there's a pretty big gap already, so that's good. So if we do start to struggle a bit, we've got a little bit of a gap to the guys behind them, so this could be good. And right, 49.867 is what we did on the first lap. We're 3 point something seconds up on that lap, so we're looking at a lap in the 46s. So it's pretty okay. But we don't want to push these tyres too hard because I know that the tyre wear is going to be absolutely awful. So we're going to be pretty careful on them. See, we're just avoiding that curb completely because if you touch it, then it starts to spin you out like that one did. So we're just trying to avoid those curves completely because there's no point us getting into a situation where the car's just spinning out all over the place and the traction's gone. So that's not going to help the tyres. So we're just going to try and be careful and just avoid the curves as much as possible. Some curves we're going to have to touch, but others we can kind of get away with not touching. So 3.6 up, which means it's going to be like a 46.2 for this lap. 2.1 ahead of Hamilton now, who's jumped Ricciardo. So Ricciardo's not done us any favours and held up Hamilton. So that's a little bit disappointing because now we're going to have a Mercedes all over the back of us. I can imagine this is what's going to happen next season. It's going to be me and Hamilton absolutely at it for the whole season, especially in the first few races because the AI are really powerful in the first few tracks like Australia and Malaysia and China. They seem to be really overpowered around those tracks, and then later on in the season you seem to, because of the upgrades and things like that, you seem to go a little bit faster against them. So Hamilton there at 1:46.4, which is 1.1 seconds quicker than us, so that's how much pace he's got in hand. I just didn't dare touch the throttle. I just did not dare touch the throttle around this track, especially around some of the the first sector there. I just didn't really. I was being so cautious on the throttle and the brakes because yeah, the car was just so unstable, and I don't know what it is. The setup just wasn't there, and it made it really difficult. It doesn't really help as well because Project Cars has come out. I've been playing that quite a lot, which has got a completely different handling model to this, so it's difficult coming between the two, and you know, trying to get back into the handling of one or the other. So yeah, it's making things a little bit kind of difficult. I want to play both games, but it takes a little bit of time to get into the handling of F1 2014 again, for example. Because the cars on the Formula A car on F1 20 on Project Cars has so much more grip. It's got especially in the high speed stuff. It doesn't wheel spin and doesn't like slide out like this one does. Which this one's got so little traction. Being a 2014 car, it's high powered and low downforce, and makes it quite difficult to drive, especially through slow speed stuff and tracks like this one where it's very dependent on traction and lots of direction changes and slow speed corners. So 46.7, so we're consistently in the 46s, but Hamilton's now within 0.8 of us. Alonso's 4 seconds behind Ricciardo, so that's a decent gap, and Ricciardo's 1.5 behind Hamilton, so Hamilton's dropped Ricciardo a little bit. We've improved by 2 tenths on that first sector, but we run a little bit deep. Onto the back straight then, and we've got 2 more laps on these tyres. So there's this lap, there's lap 5, and then there's lap 6, and then we're finally off these tyres and hopefully onto something better, because as I said, I just did not have any confidence whatsoever in these tyres. It was making a really difficult race. You see Hamilton's close right up to us, and he's going to have DRS on this lap, so that'll help him out down this straight, and we're not going to have to cover really because there's quite a big gap, so we should be okay. He's really dropped Ricciardo though, so we're both dropping Ricciardo, 2.2 seconds, so we've got some decent pace, us out front. I don't know where the hell Rosberg's gone, and our teammates in that pack just behind Alonso. So Hamilton's getting very close in the mirrors, and I just don't like this at all at this moment. I see a lot of wheel spin off that curb. We run wide. Come on onto the home straight. Come on. A piece of straight road, please. Just no more corners. Just straight road will do. This car does not like corners. Only one more lap on these tyres after this. It's so hard. It was so stressful, this race. I just couldn't like get any rhythm going or anything. If we'd run higher downforce, we might have been a little bit better through the slow speed stuff, and through the corners, but then we would have been attacked on the straights. So this is kind of the only thing that's saving us at the moment, the fact that we're running quite low downforce, 5 and 3, so look how close Hamilton is in that braking zone and through that traction zone. He's so close. We're again, because of our low downforce though, we're not going to have to go defensive. We're actually running lean mix. So Ricciardo's back to 2 seconds behind. Hamilton's within 3 tenths of us though. But we have decent pace. You can see there's quite a big gap between everybody else and these front 3 cars. It's like me, Hamilton and Ricciardo just seems to be the only ones that have gone. Ricciardo's kind of clinging on to Hamilton. These tyres are absolutely shot. There's no grip at all. It's just crazy. So another 147 there, half a second down. on our previous lap. Yeah, these tyres are absolutely shot. I just do not even dare look at the condition indicator. I don't even want to see how badly worn they are at the moment, but they are absolutely shot. So we're having to go into first gear for the hairpin as well, because if we go in second, the car just understeers and just doesn't make the corner, and we have to go to first. But then when you go to first, the car just doesn't. It just kind of steps out and loses traction, and the back end slides. And Hamilton's having to go at us, and he's not going to get this one done because we've got the inside line, and we're going to make sure we cover off the inside line for the next corner as well. Traction zone here, so we need to get a good exit because otherwise Hamilton's going to have a run at us, and he's very, very close. We are definitely going to have to go defensive this lap because he's right behind us, so we're going for the inside line. And this is kind of, if he gets clear of us here, I think he'll win the race. So we have to really be careful and just make sure he doesn't get past us. Because I don't think, if Hamilton gets past us here, I don't think we're going to have a reply to him. And although we're miles ahead of everybody else and Ricciardo's the only one with us, I just don't think that we're going to have the pace to kind of keep up with Hamilton. So we're going to have to make sure we keep him behind us. And it's our pit stop lap now, so we're going to be coming to the pits very shortly. It's a very tight pit entry here, so we'll make sure you don't hit that big black set of tyres on the outside. Ricciardo's continued on, and it looks like Ferrari's pit crew are out as well, so there's going to be a Ferrari coming in, probably Alonso. We're in our pit box. We just don't want to get held here because Hamilton's coming down the pit lane, and we've got out ahead of him, so we're still in the lead. Well, we're in the lead sort of until everyone else pits. When everyone else pits, we'll be back in the lead. So at the moment, we're in 8th place. The fuel situation's looking okay though, so we're +1 on fuel, so that's good. 3.9 behind Perez. See, as soon as I got into these tyres, I felt these tyres were absolutely so much better than the options. They had so much more like consistency and grip. It's like the options they were gone before you even started the race. It's like they were just knackered. And then when I got onto the primes, there was a lot more grip, and I probably will set a faster lap than I did on the options on these. So on the options, when you break down the second gear there, the back end would step out and it would be gone, and then the traction would be gone. And that was on lap number 1, and on lap number 2 it was just all over the place. And then we're on lap number 7, a brand new set of primes, and you can see there how much smoother it was and how much more grip there was. Once again, there's no real dramas on the back end. I just don't understand why the options were so bad at the start of the race. It's like kind of an extreme tyre wear or something early on. So Hamilton's very close to us, but I feel a lot more confident now that I've got these tyres on. It just feels a lot better. And see, we're a long way ahead of our teammate because he's just coming to the pit lane now, and we're going to absolutely go flying past him. And we must be more than 10 seconds ahead of him. So after 7 laps, we were more than a second lap quicker than our teammate. And this is Ricciardo coming out the pit lane, and you can see we've pulled out an even bigger gap on him. So how far behind Hamilton was he? He was a couple of seconds. So he's jumped Hamilton. So staying out 1 lap longer has actually helped Ricciardo, and he's now within 7 tenths of us. So now we're going to try and push again because Ricciardo's got the position on Hamilton, and hopefully he can keep Hamilton behind a little bit longer. And we're going to try and push again on these tyres. See, these laps are very long as well in terms of like the actual laps on like how the distance of the lap. So it's a very long race because I think when you play Spa, like you did 25% race in Spa's 11 laps. But it's a 146, 150 lap, and then this is 14 laps round, and the lap times are kind of the same, so it's a bit weird. It's a bit of a longer race, and Ricciardo's still ahead of Hamilton. You can see I'm pushing a lot harder now that the tyres are. I'm on these tyres. I just seem to have more confidence on these tyres than I did on the faster tyre, which is again a very strange situation to have. So this one looks like it might be faster. Coming towards the line, it's a 1:46.5, so it's matching the time we did on the options there. So, and we've pulled out a couple of tenths on Ricciardo. So we're going to try and push again and see if we can get an even faster lap. So you see we've got purple now. We're 0.2.5 up nearly, so 0.224. Run very deep on the hairpin. I just said I couldn't get the car turned in, it just wouldn't turn in for that corner. There's another track we're going to have to kind of look at the setup for and see if we can find something better, because although we're going to be in the Mercedes next year, it's still going to have to find a good setup for the track. A little bit of a moment on the exit of that corner. Traction zone here now though, so Hamilton's now jumped Ricciardo, so we've got him behind us again. So we're still 3 tenths up. It's not purple anymore, so that's not going to beat Hamilton's time. But we're 3 tenths up on this time, so this should be a 46.2 maybe. So Hamilton was in the 145s when he was on the option tyre, but we're now we're going to be into the 146.2s if we get this one right. It's been a very nice final sector though, so it could even be quicker. What have we got? No, we lost time, so it was a 46.4, so we lost time in the final sector. What have we got here? So a tenth and a bit down in the first sector. Hamilton's very, very close. We're probably going to have to go defensive on this lap to make sure he doesn't get past. Yeah, he's going for it. We're going to go defensive on the left. We've left him some room. We're going to have to outbrake him now. Just about got the job done there. He's going to have another go at us down this straight though. And Ricciardo's actually attacking him now though, so there's a bit of a gap. So he's gotten really defensive against Ricciardo, which has given us some air, and which is pretty much which I'm a little bit thankful for, because I was so we don't want to have Hamilton pressuring us all the way to the end. So you can see there's like a train formed up behind Hamilton, and then there's a massive gap between. There's like second, third, fourth, and fifth are behind Hamilton. Sorry, are behind me, and then sixth place is on its own, and then there's a gap to from sixth to seventh. There's a big gap. So these guys are using like the DRS and their slipstream to kind of keep up with each other at the moment. So 46.6 again, and 146.64 one round that lap. So say these tyres felt a lot more consistent than the other ones, and you can see we're putting in consistent lap times now. We've gone purple in the first sector, so it was a pretty decent first sector that time. Oh, we took that. That was quite nice. We took that hairpin quite nicely that time. So that's given us a little bit of an air gap to Hamilton, and we're pulling away from him a little bit. And we got a good exit as well. So this could be a good lap. Down to lean mix for the chicane. Second gear. Don't even go near that curb because so if we've missed it, which is good, which means that we got a good exit. Let's hope we're still up on this sector. So half a second up near enough. 0.421. Over 4/10 up. This is looking like a very, very good lap. This could be pretty quick. As long as I don't get any of this wrong. So coming through the final sector now. Be very careful not to spin the back wheels up. Short shift into fourth there. Yeah, it's going to be pretty good lap. A little bit too much curve on the final corner, but coming around across the line, a 46.041, so nearly 6/10 quicker than our previous lap. So nearly into the 145s. There's 3 laps to go, and we're just about hanging on to the lead here. Again, we take that one quite nicely, so we seem to have kind of figured that one out. And again, there's still a massive gap between 6th and 7th, and there's kind of a little train formed behind us, and so they're all using each other's slipstream and DRS to kind of keep up with us. Got a pretty nice exit onto the straight that time, so we've got a little bit of a gap to Hamilton, but he is still close to us, so we've gone a little bit defensive. I don't think we have to defend too hard because he's still behind us. We're starting to feel a little bit of tyre wear now, coming towards the end of this race. We did push pretty hard though on these tyres in the first part of the stint, so down a second gear, just get turned in. It feels like an entirely different car on the primes. It just feels like I'm driving a completely different car to the ones that I was driving on the options. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just the car just feels just different. It just feels like I'm driving a much better car in the second part of the race. I know it's getting lighter, but like the car's getting lighter, but it just feels like an entirely different car. So and I've just noticed that we're on lap 13 of 14. And we're still in bright daylight, so is it going to get darker on the final lap? So we're coming down this back straight now, and we've got a little bit more of a gap to Hamilton, but he's still going to be closing in on us. And he's going to have another look at us on the inside, but I think we got this one covered again. So down at second gear, and Hamilton backs out of it. He's probably going to have another run at us down this back straight in the second DRS zone. He seems a little bit too far back again. So yeah, we've got this one covered again. One more lap to go and we could have the 50 points from Abu Dhabi, and it's been a very tense, stressful race for myself. And I mean, yeah, that's kind of moments like that were the ones that I didn't want, like the back end just stepping out with too much power. I wish I could put the throttle traces on this because I'm barely touching the throttle, and that's what happens, just barely touching third gear and the car just like kicks out of the back end. So I just didn't want to touch the throttle at all, because the moment I touched it, we were having to short shift and the car was just losing traction, and it was becoming very difficult just to kind of hold on to the back end of the car. But there's only a few more corners to go, so we're into the final lap, and we're on for the win here, and there's a train of 5 cars following us, but we don't care because we are on for the win here, and we've only got this these 2 back straights in the final sector to go, and then we've got 50 points in the bag, and our teammate is just way back, so we forget about him. He's not going to help us in the Constructors' Championship, but we should be able to take quite a few points here off Hamilton and off Rosberg. I don't quite know where Rosberg is at the moment. He doesn't seem to be in that train of cars, so, or is he the last car in that train? So I don't think we're going to have enough points here to beat the Mercedes to the Constructors' Championship, but it's going to be close. So we're going to take 50 points, and Hamilton's going to take a few more than Rosberg, and I think he's going to take 36 points. It is because he's 18 for second place, so 36. So Hamilton's going to take 36. We're going to take 50, so that should close the gap by 14 points. It was 13 points, but then Rosberg, whatever he picks up, will knock it over the line. So Rosberg's in 6th place right now, I think. I can't believe this train of cars. This is like 5 cars behind me that follow me all the way to the line, and there's just a gap between the rest of them and the 7th place. So round the final corner, and we're coming towards the finish line. It's a win in Abu Dhabi. It's 50 points. It's the end of the season, and I think we've just missed out on the Constructors' Championship. But it's 12 or 13 wins this season, so a lot of wins for ourselves. And yeah, it was 6 tenths in the end, and there was 6 cars within 2.6 seconds of the lead, and Felipe was in 9th place, and you can see here this is the double points. Felipe only picked up 4 points, so yeah, we're going to see kind of just checking out the lap times here. You can see that the first couple of laps was in the 46, and then it dropped to 47, then to 49. 49 was the pit stop lap. And look at this, Hamilton's lap times: 45, 46, 46, 47, 49. So I was just seeing how consistent Hamilton was compared to us. But yeah, Felipe only picked up 4 points. And let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship. Let's press continue. I'm just seeing there, Max Chilton 121 down. So Constructors wise, you can see there we absolutely battered the Drivers' Championship. We've been world champion for a few races, but they want to celebrate with us now. So yeah, 159 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who I think had a bit of a resurgence towards the end of the season. And there's everybody else who got no points, and our teammate got 71 points. 11 points it was in the end, so we did close in a little bit by 2 points, but it just wasn't enough. And Mercedes take the Constructors' Championship. So if you have enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this one, and I'll see you soon for the start of next season. Thanks for watching. You've been amazing as always.